Hey, what's up, Amasian people? Welcome to Team Amasian's show, Speak Nerdy to Me, for the week of June 15th, I think it is. My name is Campea, one half of Team Amasian, and joining me to my left is the beautiful Kaori Takee, the other half of our Amasian team.
Yes, and two makes one complete team.
Yay! And we are in our beautiful bright colors today, ready to share some awesome news about movies, TV, video games, what else? Comic books, you name it. If it's a topic that we are interested in, we are talking about it. And there is a lot of stuff to talk about for this week.
Yes, and there's a really gigantic news that I want to share with you guys right now. Anne is wearing pink! And not just pink, but neon pink.
This is not Photoshop either. This is legitimate, hot, really bright ass pink.
And that is what a team player does. She decides to see what it feels like to be Kaori Takee for a second.
Yes.
How's it feel?
I feel Amasian. I feel so Amasian. I have an awesome Pomeranian named Wakame, and she's so damn cute. And I have the awesome life, and I have this beautiful Batman dress on, and I'm Kaori.
But, you know, honestly, Anne, I don't know why you don't like pink. Pink is a great color on you. You've got a nice tan, skin thing going on. And
I don't know what it is, you guys. I think it's just growing up as a tomboy. Pink was always that color, and even in my adult life, I just never grown to love it. But
this just in.
This is for our team.
This happens.
And Kaori, and makes her happy. So let's get started, though, because there is a bit of movie news that we wanted to talk about this week, starting with ComicCon. And I know several of us are counting down to ComicCon, and one of the big things about ComicCon is that a lot of the movie studios will come in and bring some of their new properties forth to really excite the crowds.
Yep.
And so we found out, it is confirmed that a few studios are not going to be at ComicCon this year. Marvel, Sony, and Paramount.
Those are major studios holding major titles that we are all interested in hearing about. But I think this is a good move.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think Comic-Con needs to be a place where movies are exhibited as much as it has been in the recent years. And I'm happy, and hopefully it'll downsize the clientele of Comic-Con.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just, for us, we've been going for a few years now, myself for I think like eight or 9 years, and it's really just expanded to this like mega con, and it's amazing. There's so much going on, and we're going to cosplay, and it's going to be Amasian too, but it's just too much sometimes. And last year was the perfect example of, I don't even think we went to one panel. It's just because it was just packed and crazy. And most of the stuff you can find online. And I think the beauty of what some of these studios are doing, like Marvel, is they're actually hosting their own panels outside of Comic-Con that are specifically for Marvel films that, they did at El Capitan, for example. Marvel did that. They did kind of like a Steve Jobs presentation with all of their upcoming production. And it worked out perfectly.
And I think it's well done that way. That way people can really focus on that, and the whole day is not exhausting waiting in line for hours and finally getting those tidbits. It's a good move.
Yeah.
I think for everybody, we all win.
And I think the biggest winner is going to be Warner Brothers, who is the only big studio, I think, that's confirmed to be at Comic-Con to present what we have all been waiting for, Batman versus Superman, amongst their other properties, Suicide Squad and everything else.
It's been a long-ass wait for that Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, doesn't it feel like it?
We have seen more on the Suicide Squad in 6 months than Batman versus Superman in 2 years. It's ridiculous.
That's true. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on that studio, considering that all of these studios are not going to be there to really bring a really awesome presentation to us. So, just to note, Comic-Con is just a few weeks away. Kaori and I are so excited because we have so much planned in terms of cosplay and just, activities while we're out there. And so hopefully through our social media, you guys will start to get excited with us. Maybe we'll share a glimpse at some of the stuff that we might be wearing there. I think Kaori has already been putting some of the stuff out that she's been putting together.
Can't wait.
So it's going to be really exciting. And if you guys are going to be there, definitely look out for us. I'm sure it will get kind of crazy and crowded, but we would love to meet you guys if you guys are planning to go out to ComicCon.
Yeah, we would love to meet you guys. All two of you. Me and Anne.
Maybe not in a dark alley or something. We probably will be wearing bright ass colors, so you won't be able to pick us out in the crowd. So moving on to our next piece of movie news, though, Jurassic World.
Yeah.
I mean, both of us, we had a review last week of it. You were fresh out of the theater when you saw Jurassic World. It had not been officially announced what the box office number was for the film at that time, but now we can rightfully say that Jurassic World has topped Marvel's Avengers as the top box office money-making movie. It made that much money, you guys.
It did, and I'm proud of them. I am. And Jurassic World was a very entertaining movie, and it appeals to such a large mass of people. And that it just proves via the box office that that's true. And I really enjoyed the movie, and now I guess they're working on a sequel, and I'm thinking, do they really need to do that? We know what happened with the sequel of Jurassic Park.
Good point. But money speaks, and anytime it makes a shit ton of money, they're going to try to capitalize that, even if it's a sequel that's not as good as the first.
By the way, Anne, have you seen the Yas cat?
No.
Okay. Well, keep talking. I'm going to show this to her right now.
Okay.
React.
So we have a review out for Jurassic World. If you guys haven't had a chance to check it out, definitely do. There are spoilers though, so if you haven't had a chance to see the film, definitely make sure you've gone out and seen Jurassic World. Unless you're one of those people that doesn't mind spoilers, then you can go and check out our review. Anyways, and let us know what you think of Jurassic World, as well as the crazy amount of money that it's made. And whether or not you think when we talk about what's coming out this weekend, it's going to be number one again.
Yeah.
It's a good question.
Okay, so guys, I don't know if you guys have heard, it's a long-winded thing to something that made me laugh all week long. So there's this cat, and they dubbed the cat by saying yes, but the cat goes yas. Okay, I'm going to show Anne, and then I'll show you guys. So it's a Vine. Oh, God. Okay, there we go.
Wait, hold on. Wait, is that really the cat?
Yeah, I don't think it's really the cat.
I'm just gonna believe it's the cat because that makes it even better.
But they did one with Jurassic Park, and it just made me. It's the funniest one, and this is why I gotta show you right now. I don't know why it's on YouTube, but it started off on.
Yes.
Stupid.
Okay, guys, here it is.
That's so ridiculous.
Sorry. This is the stuff I find funny.
And this is how we conversate in real life. So that was definitely worth the watch. It's gonna be stuck in my head all day.
I'm sorry. Yes, it will be. Yes.
Normally I'm not a cat person, but man, that
cat
is so funny.
Yes.
Okay, so where were we now on our rundown? Speaking of pets,
that was a segue on purpose.
Thank you, my dear. Sure. Beautiful. We are privy to a new trailer out called The Secret Life of Pets. It's a movie that's not slated to be out until 2016, but they released the trailer this week, and I was immediately on my phone texting Kaori saying, you need to watch this trailer that I sent over in the rundown.
I saw it like 3 times in a row. It's so cute. And every single animal that you can think of that you love is represented in there, even for a snippet. And
I have to say, isn't the first dog a palm?
The first one's a fucking palm.
Come on.
I mean,
just had to be black, and like, Kaori would lose her mind.
I was like, oh my God, it's a fucking Pomeranian, and it's an asshole. Love it.
She's like, I have stuff to do too.
that dachshund was an asshole too. It's like, oh, okay.
The dachshund just knew what it wanted, okay?
I love how, because the dachshunds have like that long ass back, it was thinking, I need to get this long ass back rubbed right now. It's a
Selfish
really cute trailer, guys.
so cute.
I think you guys should definitely watch it if you are even minorly an animal lover, because we all wonder, I wonder what our pets are doing while we're gone.
Several occasions we have talked about this.
Yes, like
Yes.
what I would give to put a camera on them.
Yes.
And this is created by humans. What we imagine they would be like party time or just messing with our stuff.
It's such a good idea.
Yeah.
I love that Louis C.K. is the first voice that we hear, you know, after the palm.
Oh, okay. I was like, he's a palm?
No, but the fact that he's Sarah Silverman is actually the palm.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, but Louis C.K. is just like, I'm gonna wait for my master. She's gonna come home anytime. You know, like that's the stuff that I always think my dogs are doing. You know? So it's cool. I love the idea, and I'm just excited for all the people that are involved. We have Kevin Hart. We have Eric Stone Street. Yes, Lake Bell. You know, Louis C.K., Albert Brooks. So there's a lot of voice talent there, but just the concept alone, I think we're going to die over this. This is so awesome. And we have
Hannibal Buress, who outed Bill Cosby.
Oh, that's right.
Who?
So check out the trailer, you guys. Animal lover, not like Kaori said. It's really endearing,
it's cute.
And you guys have to see it. So there is also another trailer that came out this week from one of our other favorite gangs, the Peanuts gang. We had I think it was a teaser originally, and now this is a full trailer with really like giving us an idea of what the story is going to be about.
I'm going to be honest with you. When it comes to the Peanuts, it is a mystery why I watched that show.
Why?
Because it was never interesting, but I would always watch it. And I recall being a kid thinking, this is a really boring cartoon. But I would still watch it. And that being said, it has purely a nostalgic factor to it. And I would be interested in seeing it, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to want to blow my brains out.
What?
It's not an interesting cartoon.
Well, here's the thing, though. I mean, I feel like with this new trailer that you might be right. That it was really just kind of about these kids who just lived life. Like, how exciting could that be? There was really no adventure. There was no crazy big villains. You know, they went to school. That's about it.
It was always the repetition of things. And the main person, this is Snoopy, was an asshole dog.
And he really is the only one that had the most adventures, was Snoopy. But I have to say, with the trailer, though, they do set up a very good story, a human story within the Peanuts gang of, you know, Charlie Brown trying to reinvent himself, trying to fit in. It's something that we've all had to do maybe once or more times in our lives. So I think for that reason, it does set up a good story, in my opinion, of you know, a kid just trying to find himself at that age, you know, and trying to make friends. And again, it's all stuff we've dealt with. Maybe not the most exciting. There's no dinosaurs or anything, but I think it could be really cute.
And it's ironic that this story is about a kid trying to adapt to, you know, this new generation or whatnot, because the trailer is obviously trying to adapt to this new generation of cartoons and animation.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah. But I love the concept of Charlie Brown, and I've always watched the cartoons, but I just remember never really being interested in it, but I would still watch it. So that being said, I'm going to probably watch this movie, but it's really based on like this nostalgia factor.
Yeah. And maybe that's what's going to bring in all the dough.
Yeah.
Like all these people that miss the Peanuts gang.
Yeah.
So you guys, if you have checked out the trailer, let us know what you think. When is this movie out? I don't think I have a date for this. November 6th.
Oh, wow. That's real soon. Christmas time. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the kind of time that kind of stuff comes out.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Okay, so after all of this trailer talk, we have one more piece of movie news about the upcoming Ghostbusters film. That's all-female cast. We finally got word that we will also have a male, and a prominent one at that, in Chris Hemsworth joining the cast as the receptionist for the movie.
Which is great.
What do you think about that?
I think that's great. I love Chris Hemsworth. I like how the role reversal how it works out.
Yep.
Great move.
Yeah. I think, you know, I want to see Chris Hemsworth do more comedy. I think, you know, his comedic timing is actually pretty good.
I still want to see Vacation, the new one.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for that.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that's going to be good. And I don't know if you saw that they released new images of the set.
Yeah. I think they had their first images coming of like Kristen Wiig.
Yeah, Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy and the other chick from SNL. But this movie, I'm excited about it, and I would love to see the twist and how they reverse those roles. And it shows a lot of what's happening in our generation now, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I agree. So let's go on to some movie releases because there are a few movies out that have to compete with the Jurassic World empire now. First of them being Pixar's Inside Out is out this weekend, as well as Dope. And I don't know which studio does this one, but Dope is out.
They both look really good, but for obviously very different reasons. Pixar, and go ahead, because she saw the movie, but don't spoil it because I'm going to go see it.
I've actually seen both movies.
Oh, you've seen both?
Yeah, so I won't try to spoil either. But I will say, the weird thing is I have very similar reviews for both. I will say Inside Out is my favorite of the weekend releases.
Okay. Over Dope?
Over Dope, but both equally really well done, really creative, original, and intelligent. I can't emphasize that word any more than like it's each script is so smart. There's just a lot of at least in Dope, there's a lot of dialogue that needs to be had, especially in the time that we live in. It's just a really good picture of a kid trying to grow up from the worst, neighborhood, wanting to go to school and just live a good life. I mean, that's just the basis of it. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on in that film. But I love the lead actor. I don't know his name.
Well, look him up.
Super handsome, such a good actor. He played that geeky, kid growing up in the hood role really well. Just charming, and I loved him in that role. And then going back to Inside Out, it's my favorite Pixar film of them all.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I love it. So for me, I know everyone has their favorites. For me, my favorites have always been WALL-E and Up. So if you agree with me on those, then I hope that you will agree with me that Inside Out is better than those.
Dope, by the way, Rakim Mayers.
Yeah.
Is that him? A$AP Rocky? A$AP
It is?
As A$AP
Oh,
Rocky.
no. It's not Dom.
Who's the main one?
Where he at?
Rick Fox. Sorry, I'm like, what the hell? Okay, now it's getting into like the
What the heck was his name?
Popcorn Man 1 and 2. I don't know. I guess we'll never know.
Oh, no.
That is so weird.
I'm sure Dom is the one that's... Okay. So,
I really want to see both movies for very different reasons. But both movies are the kind of movies I would see at any moment. Not like, I gotta be in the mood to watch it. It's not like that. I
that's a good point.
Both. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
We'll come back with once Kaori has had a chance to see Inside Out and Dope. Hopefully by our next Speak Nerdy to Me, we can do a spoilers review of both.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But I will promise you guys that you will not be wasting your money at the box office this weekend. There's so many good movies out. Inside Out, Dope, Jurassic World, if you haven't seen it yet. I think all the movies I've seen so far, in these last few weeks have been really good and a really good start to this really hot season. So check it out, get out of the heat if you're in California and go into the theater because it's nice and cool and see some of these good movies. Okay, so let's move on to TV news. There was a finale this last week that we both haven't really had a chance to talk about ourselves.
Well, that's kind of good. I mean, so we can talk about it right now.
Game of Thrones. Let's go through it.
It was a good episode. I'm just upset that was the finale, if that makes sense. It finally caught its momentum towards the end of the season. Arya Stark was boring as shit until this final episode where she finally kills off one of the people on her list. And, like in the book, she gets blind and stuff like that. That's cool. But then, there's a lot of things like, all right, Sansa, obviously this is spoiling, by the way, you guys probably...
Oh, yeah, sorry, spoilers here.
Sansa, Reek finally defends her, and they jump into what we have to assume is very soft-ass fucking snow.
They're about to make some snow angels, it looks like.
Yeah, they're about to okay, it's cool. That part was anticlimactic. You would expect more from that. Sad that Brynn basically missed her by a hair, and then John Baratheon dies, and you're like, So you killed your whole You killed your whole fucking family for this.
I think I was most disappointed about that, to be honest with you. Just because I've been love or hate him, he's done some crazy ass shit to his family. He lost both his daughter and his wife, but I had some sort of respect for him, not because of what he did, but because he continued to make these decisions to just ultimately get what he wanted.
Yeah.
So he was kind of consistent in that sense, but then it just didn't end up anywhere.
But that bitch, that redheaded bitch, man, every single time she kept leading him, and the moment she realized she fucked up, she like pretty much walked backwards very slowly. That was pretty much what happened.
Or do you think she knows exactly what she was doing?
She seemed like shocked though. She had shock face. I don't know. Maybe she did know exactly what she was doing.
I don't know.
Yeah. And then also, obviously, the two big things. One is Cersei walking down. I will never hear the word shame the same way again.
Shame.
I was like,
shame.
The fuck up. I get it.
Yes.
Yeah, they should be a meme where she goes, yes. Yes.
We should count how many times they said shame. I'm sure somebody already has done that.
It took away from the her getting stoned eventually, and it really did, because that's what I'm talking about right now with that scene. I'm like, oh my god, that shame bell was so annoying. But Cersei going back into that castle and seeing this reincarnated mountain, and at the end of the season, that sucks. Why couldn't they just give it to somewhere in the middle? They just like let the season drag way too long.
I agree.
They let it drag, and it was really unnecessary. And then they fucking killed Jon Snow.
Is he dead?
Yes, he's dead.
Is he really dead?
Well, I mean, the actor did say he's right now not coming back, but maybe they're going to ask him to come back as, I don't know, a ghost or something. But
yeah, there's a lot of really good theories online as to why he's not dead. I don't think he's dead. I think Jon Snow is dead. But what he comes back as, I don't know what that's going to be.
I mean, it'd be interesting if they do that. They did that with the Mountain. They should have done that with Catelyn Stark. But they didn't.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I feel like Jon Snow had so much more to do, so that was a shock value. But they are saying that they're, like, pretty much saying, fuck it, fuck the books, we're just going to go our own way.
Kind of, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, they have been.
What happened, yeah. 8.1 million viewers, so new series high. If you guys, I'm sure you're one of the people that has seen it if you've been following. What did you think of, and I'm sorry if I missed it, but did you touch on Arya, the end of wrap-up of Arya's character?
I thought her character was exponentially boring until this very, very last episode.
Yeah.
And, the whole special effects with the face thing, it was really well done, but I'm like, oh, come on, that would never happen in real life. And that bothered me for some reason. I don't know why it bothered me, but it did.
But dragons, it's not bad.
Dragons, like, it's fine, because you know what? Maybe one day some dragon will yas his way down here, and that'll be fine. He'd be like, yas. But Arya Stark is not my favorite character. I feel like she's oftentimes very like a loose cannon and very unreasonable and irrational. And that can work if she does badass shit like she did in the season finale, but she was stale most of the season.
The whole season, until this episode. It was really heartbreaking for me to see Jaime Lannister finally have some sort of relationship or start to form a relationship with one of his children. Yeah. And then see her get poisoned and die. So let's talk about... go ahead.
Sorry, you saw that coming, right?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are they really focusing on this chick kissing her on the lips? Like, there's no other reason.
And she was annoying too, and so are the snakes. Ugh.
Yeah. I had more hope for that storyline and for those characters. I think we talked about that before the season even started, that we were both looking forward to the sand snakes.
They were just over-sexualized women, warrior women that didn't even fight.
And I'm like, why is this 13-year-old little boy girl like trying to hit on what's his face? Because that's what she reminded me of. She looked like a little boy. She was trying to be sexy with him. Anyways, let's talk quickly about what we think, where we will be at, predictions for next season.
I I think Cersei is going to have some massive mean revenge, and if they were smart, they should have killed her, because when she sat there and repented for her sins and confessed she was full of shit, and old man Wrinkle knew that she was full of shit, and he, tried to push her to say the truth, but she still lies. So he was like, okay, I'm going to believe you, but everyone knows she's a whore, and everyone knows that she's a incestuous woman, and where they managed in this season to make at least me feel really, really bad for Cersei, and I don't know how they fucking did it, but they did. And that being said, I'm predicting that the next season I'm going to end up hating her.
Oh, I'm sure, because she is going to bring
full force
wrath and fire and everything she can throw.
And
at
her
these
daughter's
people.
dead.
And her daughter's dead.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm sure. What's Tommen?
Yeah.
I'm sure we're gonna see him take a turn.
He's so useless, though. It just drives me nuts.
Oh, of course.
And I mean, in the books, Jaime becomes a really good guy, like a solid warrior, and ever since he gets his hand cut off, and you kind of see that in Game of Thrones, the show. But I'm curious to see if, under all of this circumstance, how that's going to turn around.
Yeah. Oh, that would be cool because right now he does seem like that guy who's trying to do good for himself and his family.
Yeah, I mean, he's the one that saved his little. Oh, we didn't even talk about the dragons. That's another thing that bothers me. Not to go backtrack, but okay, so she flies off with this dragon. It says, "Peace out, guys. I'm gonna go, and you guys stay here. I'm going home, whatever." And then her dragon is wounded, and she needs to go back. And he's like, "No, it shows that she can't control her dragons,
right?"
And then she's all of a sudden in a foreign area, and these guys are about to like jump her, or who knows what.
Yeah.
And the dragon doesn't come save her. I did not like the ending on that aspect either, because she's like a really important plot line.
Yeah.
She's probably the one that we all like really, really, really love as a mass, and then they just really didn't give us much with that.
No, I could have been happy if we didn't even see her at all this episode.
Yeah.
And our last image of her is her flying out with her dragon. But on that note, though, Tyrion, I forget all the other people's names.
Jorah,
Grey Worm are all in charge of the city now. Do you think that's a good idea? And where is it going to be when Daenerys comes back? Is it going to be in a healthy state?
Well, it wasn't really in a healthy state when she was there, so I think it's going to probably be a little more chaotic, because it wouldn't be Game of Thrones without that chaos. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no predictions for it.
I think her boo's going to die. The love of her life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to die, and I predict Jorah might be the one to do it.
Ugh. That guy.
He's so gross.
I know.
It's like, stop.
And they keep throwing it in his face, like, didn't she reject you twice? Like,
and he's like,
as if he doesn't even, like, he's not even listening.
I know. He's
like, what?
And they're like, if it wasn't for him, you all would be dead. It's like, well, if it wasn't for him, it wouldn't have happened.
Thank you. Oh, that character. I don't know what to do with him.
And it's funny. I used to like him, but then things got a little creepy.
Well, and didn't you mention this before? Like, he was kind of an ass in Downton, too.
Oh, he was such a dickhole in Downton. So it made it so much easier to be like, go home,
Any other predictions before we
keep forgetting that Jorah has grayscale. I mean, that's not cool.
True.
What a dick. He's like passing it on, like,
Ew.
I don't have grayscale. She almost anti-yossed me.
All right. Game of Thrones, you guys let us know.
Yeah, let us know. We
up,
obviously
down.
talked about it a lot. We can go on forever.
For sure.
I really could.
We can.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to...
They need more Asians in Game of Thrones. No, I'm just kidding.
Do they? Oh, wait.
They have no Asian, except that one moment when that chick from Arrow came on.
Oh, that's right.
And then she stared at him, and then there was nothing that came from that. But anyway.
Wah, wah. Maybe next season. That's our one hope. Okay, so next on the list is HBO's new lineup for Sundays. Starting with True Detective, we have Ballers coming out, as well as another show which I'm not too familiar with called The Brink. All of this to replace, obviously, what with Game of Thrones done. I believe Silicon Valley has wrapped up or is wrapping up. Veep is wrapping up. So, what do you think of this new Sunday lineup?
True Detective looks interesting. They did a great job with True Detective season 1. I didn't watch it, but they casted well. They obviously got good reviews. Both were Emmy nominated. So in that aspect, I can say that, yeah, it did well. But I don't know personally. Yeah. But this new season, what I like about it is even though I haven't seen, all of season 1, I could, if I chose to engage into season 2, I could, because it has nothing to do with season 1, and it's set in California, which is nice. They're gonna go through San Francisco and LA, and each character, they have not just 2 but 4 superstars in there.
I know.
Taylor Kitsch. I love Taylor Kitsch, and I think he's highly underrated, and it's a shame because I think he's a great actor, but he keeps getting these roles that don't show that.
Yeah.
And it's tragic. It's kind of like that Sam Worthington thing, except that Taylor Kitsch can act.
This could be it, though.
I hope so, because he needs it and he deserves it. And then we got Rachel McAdams, plus.
Yeah.
She seems like ultimate sweetheart. And we've got Vince Vaughn, who's looking thin and younger. I don't know how that happened on Swingers.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, yeah.
He's great.
I'll do that. and then we also have who's the last one?
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell. Did you see that he admitted that he was a suspect for murder? There's a True Confessions with I think it was Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel with the cast of True Detective, and so he admitted that. It was kind of funny.
Oh.
Yeah. But anyway, you have seen season 1.
Yes, I have. I'm excited. I also like the fact that, people who didn't watch this first season can just easily start watching this one, no problem. The cast is amazing again, and I thoroughly enjoyed season 1. I thought, and we've talked about it before, that the pacing was a little off in the beginning, and then it really picked up after episode 4. I'm hoping this season is just straight out the gate. Yeah. Let's go. And not a lot of sitting down confessional stuff that we had with Matthew McConaughey's character. But all in all, I'm excited for the upcoming season. Ballers with Dwayne Johnson. Well, The Rock. Let's talk about that one.
I know almost nothing about it except that Dwayne Johnson and then his daughter is another girl. Who plays his daughter? Because she was talking about what it's like to be,
Not seeing. I see Rob Corddry in this picture with him.
Though. Okay,
that's cool.
It just goes to show that The Rock is pretty much over WWE and ready to just do all kinds of business with himself, and he's a force to be reckoned with. Unless he decides to. He's doing a good job. And I know nothing about Ballers, so I can only speak for the actor side. What do you think?
I'm excited just because it revolves around sports, and so knowing that The Rock used to be a football player, and just maybe his knowledge of that. Hopefully, there's a lot of sports references in it because I love that. That's what I'm looking forward to, is really kind of seeing the I think it's about him being an agent or something. I suspect that's what at least the trailer looks like. So I'm hoping it's kind of like the behind the scenes stuff of what happens. Obviously, maybe that might not be real life, but it'd be cool to see the dramatized version of it.
Yeah.
And then last on the list is a show called Brink. The Brink.
Yeah,
not sure if you're familiar with that.
I am not quite familiar with that, so take it
Tim
away.
Robbins and Jack Black are starring in it.
Oh, yeah. I am a little bit familiar with it. I'm not a Jack Black fan, so that alone kind of puts me off from it. Yeah. I am a Tim Robbins fan, but that being said, it's supposed to have a decent sense of humor. And Tim Robbins, I've seen the trailer. He looks like he's, it's an interesting character for him to play. But I don't think I'm going to tune in for it.
Yeah.
No.
I think I might wait to see maybe if there's some sort of reaction to the show. Yes. All right, so let's move on to a show that is currently in revival mode right now, Heroes Reborn. There continues to be some casting news for this upcoming show on NBC.
I have no idea what to make of this.
Including bringing back Angela Petrelli. Mama Petrelli's coming back.
I mean, that's cool, but doesn't mean it's going to be a good show.
I don't know. I really don't. I'm nervous because you and I loved the show so much, Arrows. At least the first
Heroes.
season.
I loved Arrow too.
Yeah, that too.
Heroes is so good and it's so captivating. I think the only other show that made me that addicted, where I was like ants in the pants for the next episode every single week, was Breaking Bad.
Oh,
that was the only other show that got me that intense feeling.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah, and it was so sad to see such a good show plummet down so quickly, and it was bad timing. There was that writers strike and everything. But interesting to see what they're gonna do with it. I hope they do a good job. I hope they don't use too much of like special effects.
Yeah.
Because now I always worry about that, because now we're in 2015 where things are just ridiculous.
Yeah, even in TV.
Yeah, and so sometimes people rely too much on that rather than like the quality of what is being said or addressed. So I don't know. I'm trying not to have any expectation for it, because you say the word heroes and you're thinking, oh my gosh, will I get that intense feeling of emotion that I got with the original? I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't either. It's really up in the air for me. I can't remember where we left off with Angela's character. So if you guys remind me in the comments, because I would love to know where she was at, and whether or not she will still be in that same place, or this is like years later. I don't know anything really.
I don't even remember whose mom she was.
She's Peter and
that's right.
I forget the other brother's name.
Yeah.
Peter and the other brother's name.
Yeah.
Petrelli, mom. But she is joining Zachary Levi, Ryan Guzman's slated to be on the show. So there are some names in here that we recognize.
Names,
We'll see. It just, again, it all depends on the story. It's just the strength of the writers for the show and whether they can really revive it back to the way it was for season 1.
I think what's important is not to go too far off, and that's why I'm worried about the special effects, or be like, okay, this is no longer credible in any kind of shape or form, and you guys are now really stretching it, and people keep getting like, it just doesn't make sense. And that's the problem, is like they need to continue to have a fluidity where things continue to make sense. And Hero season 1 had that, and Hero season 2 did not have that. It just didn't make sense anymore.
That's good.
Like, I hate when TV shows sit there and they in the next season they go backwards and it suddenly just doesn't make sense. Like, wait. And not to be a dick, but the last season of Arrow was kind of doing that.
I was just thinking the same thing.
That's why I was
want an
like,
example.
What? Yeah. So hopefully, I mean, Arrow has a chance, and Heroes Reborn has a chance as well.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, so let's move on to some dating questions.
Okay.
Maybe just one.
Question.
This week's dating question is, do you believe in a soulmate?
Aww.
I painted that. No, I didn't. But
you can do better than that.
Do you believe in a soulmate, Kaori?
I believe in multiple soulmates, to be honest with you. I think that there are many people cross paths for many, many, many different reasons. And not to sound like a dick, but like uses. And not uses, but you connect to everyone in different aspects, and that's why you complement each other in different ways. Like, my soulmate, if I had to pick one, would be my Pomeranian. I know, but she's perfect.
But I mean, really, the definition of soulmate is that person that you have, like you said, complements one another, or it's really kind of that other half that kind of fits perfectly with you. And whether that's a friend, whether that's an animal, a pet, or a lover, or a husband, or a wife, or whatever.
Do you believe in soulmates?
Yeah, I believe that you have multiple. I think. I think it's almost instantaneous, the fact that when you meet somebody that they kind of are the perfect fit.
Like us.
Yes, exactly. Like, you kind of just get that vibe right away, whether that person would work well with your type of personality. And so I do believe, too, that you have soulmates that can be friends, soulmates that can be your spouse, soulmates that are, I don't know.
Walk-a-maze.
Yeah, walk-a-maze, exactly.
Toxins.
Everyone would have somebody. And I know everyone, there's a lot of people that search for just that one. And they feel like it's the love of their life and they're never going to find my soulmate, blah, blah, blah. And I don't think that's necessarily the case. I bet if you look at your life and the people that you have surrounding you, I'm hoping that one of those people really, truly is somewhat of a soulmate to you already, whether it's a friend or a lover or whoever.
Yeah.
But, there was a good article, and I'm going to finish it. I believe Aziz Ansari has a new book out called Modern Romance, I think it's called.
Okay.
And I'm super interested in it because I was reading an article about it today that introduced this idea of soulmates. So when you sent me this question, I was like, whoa, the timing couldn't be more perfect.
That's funny.
Yeah. So I'm going to kind of dissect it, talk about it. Yeah, it's a good...
See, I was asking about soulmates, and you were about to read a book about soulmates.
See, isn't that weird? Soulmate. Okay, so next we have Hey of the Week. This is submitted by me.
Really?
This week's Hey of the Week is going through a drive-thru, in particular, maybe McDonald's.
What do you mean maybe? It says McDonald's.
For sure, McDonald's. And getting up to maybe this car that's on the right here. You know, you have another car in front of you ordering. And oftentimes when you're that close to the drive-thru, you can hear the person ordering, right?
Oh my God.
So I'm there, I'm super hungry, I'm all excited, I have my orders ready, whatever, because I get the same shit every time. And I'm listening to this person, and they just pull up, and they're like, can I get... Okay,
I'm annoyed, and I'm not even there.
And to go on, you know, they put in their order, whatever, chicken nugget meal, and then what kind of sauce, everything, gives all the details. This complete your order. No, can I also get, and this went on for like 3 or 4 other meals that this person had to order. And so whether I could not tell if this person had kids in their car and was letting their kids decide right then and there what to order, or if they just really didn't know what they wanted. Maybe they were high and they just couldn't like get their mind around it. I don't know, but it was just so frustrating because when I go up to the window, I know exactly what I want. Size, soda, sauce, everything.
She's just hating that I took so long at the drive-thru. That's just messed up.
And I'm like, is Wakame really going to eat all of those meals right now? Or what?
Then she texted me, you're going to be my hate of the week.
Bitch, get out of the way. I need to order. So hungry right now. So my hate of the week, what do you think about that, though?
I agree. I think especially when there's a long line waiting to get to that ordering window, you should know by the time you get there what you want to order. Especially McDonald's, everyone has their favorite go-to. And it's not just McDonald's, but whenever you're waiting for someone who's indecisive, it gets really frustrating. But that being said, I can get indecisive. I could.
Yeah, I could too, but not with McDonald's though. Maybe that's just
maybe
it really
and
is just
specified
McDonald's.
McDonald's
Specifically.
Yeah.
So don't be that person because I will be really upset if you're the person in front of me. Okay, so let's move on because there is a lot of video game news that happened this week.
It is
Kaori
overwhelming.
Is going to condense it for all of us.
It is impossible to condense. I wasn't physically at E3, and how was E3 physically?
Wow, for my first time, it was intense.
Yeah.
It is intense. It was a lot of fun. I've never been. That was definitely popping my E3 cherry, but it's just video game overload to the max, you know. But it was cool. We got to try Yoshi's Woolly World, which I think is really selling me on getting a Wii.
I keep telling Michael Medina and David Griffin that's the game that I want to get next. On the Wii U is Yoshi's Woolly World, which is coming out really soon. It's super fucking cute, and he goes the whole time, and it's Yoshi being a dickhole.
And like he poops yarn and stuff. It's so cute. I love it. And there's like a little dog too, like with no nose. So it was really, really cute and visually stunning.
Yeah.
Really super creative the way they just thought about everything that goes into even the background of it. But yeah, that game is really, I think, might be the game to push me to buy actual system around it.
It's just so cute. Yeah, what else did you see?
We got to play Rock Band, which was a lot of fun. I'm a diehard Rock Band person, so that was a lot of fun. The whole new concept of like a guitar solo or a drum solo, that's interesting to me. I'd need to practice, but that was different.
Did they always have that?
I don't know to that extent because they had this whole like poster about here's this new like thing and this is what you do during it, and if you perform better you get more points. I don't know, it was just like too much.
I feel like they've always had that. Okay.
And then Guitar Hero was a lot of fun too. I think those are the only. And Just Dance was also fun. Which is another reason why I might pick up a Wii.
I have Just Dance on the PS3 if you want to go, if you want to come play.
I was really mega awful at it, but I think They didn't tell you this when you were going to go do the dance, but I think one of the developers was dancing with you because that dude knew every single dance move before it was even happening.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was like, this guy, right?
You know, I actually have a funny story to share with Anne as well as you guys. One of my friends from Ubisoft, he sent me and my other friend some Ubisoft games. And he sent my friend 3 games, and he sent me the same 3 games plus Just Dance. And I'm like, are you being racist right now?
She'll like it. It's like DDR.
I'm like, wait, why did I get Just Dance? But that's fine. I appreciate it.
Is that sushi? No,
I just thought about it because Anne's like, yeah, and then Just Dance was awesome.
I know. Think about all the ones I played. I mean, if I told you I sang karaoke during a rock band, then it would be totally the stereotype here. But,
yeah.
But
you're like, I went to rock band, I went to Just Dance. You should know she's Woolly World. I'm like, I know she's Woolly World.
I played that sushi maker game. No, I'm just joking.
There's actually a cooking game that I keep wanting you to play. Cooking Mama. I keep forgetting to bring it for you.
Cooking Mama is so cool.
I think you would really like it.
I think I would too.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, there's just so much. There's like an overload system by system. Like there's Animal Crossing is going to come out with another one. You are going to like that.
I saw the little amiibos.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Amiibos. I think that's such a smart way for Nintendo to get people into Nintendo who are like, because alone they're just collector's editions as well, but then you can use them for your platform. And then Nintendo's just got that Yoshi's Woolly World, Mario Maker. There's so much stuff. And then they've got also the Mega Man collection coming, and that's great. And obviously the PS4 has a lot coming, and Uncharted 4, and then they've got Batman Arkham Knight. That's the cross-platform. There's just so many games that I'm just like overloaded with. But I think what blew me away, and I'm not an Xbox person, is the Xbox what's the word? Panel, whatever. It's not called panel.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because the things that they announced are things I'm like, motherfucker, why are you not doing this, Sony? And one of the big things is backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
You can basically play, not all of the games, but a lot of your 360 games you can now play on the Xbox One.
So smart.
It's really smart.
Yeah.
And the Sony announced that they're not going to they don't have plans to do that. They don't have plans to battle that out. And it's like, what? You suck.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to get a Sony because I like Sony a little bit.
But it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And then also right now, Tomb Raider's, it's exclusively on the Xbox. It's only time sensitive though. Of course, it's going to end up being on the PS4 at some point. But that trailer looks fucking amazing. Again, Lara Croft in this vulnerable state because 20 years ago she was just stone-faced, just a really simple explorer going around with big-ass tits and doing her thing.
She looks really good now.
Yeah, but now she's wearing like big pants and just really scared and vulnerable and talking more. And I love using bow and arrow with her character. I'm excited about that. I mean, all these games that are coming out are just driving me nuts. And there's a lot of indie games that are coming out.
A lot of tablet games.
Yes, and I don't know how I'm going to keep my job.
I was just about to say.
I want to call in sick.
Time for you to quit.
For a while. Yeah.
Let's play games.
It was for overall recap of what I saw from the outside perspective. E3, this E3 was one of the better ones. Last year's was not as good, in the year before where they announced right before the next gen consoles came out and they were like trying to outsell each other. It was great because they had 2 next gen consoles coming out, but it was a little disappointing. Where this one, maybe because we didn't know what to expect. It's just boom, this is what we're gonna do with that PS4. Boom, this is what we're gonna do with the Xbox One. These are the games, and these are the indie games which Xbox One is planning on supporting. I can go on forever, so I won't. Anne, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I mean, aside from being there, I think, obviously you were clued in more to the actual headlines that were coming out of E3.
Yeah.
For me, it was just more of the experience of just walking around and just seeing the crazy amount of video games that are out there. So much fun. And I might be joining you guys on that Wii boat because there's a lot of cool stuff coming out for Nintendo that I'm excited about.
And the Wii U, you can go backwards with Wii if you have a Wii.
Oh, nice.
You have a Wii, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
So.
All right, so let's go on real quick. Just really quick comic book stuff, and let me try
Take
to
your time
find
because
my...
I went on forever.
Oh, and I'm really late on this E3
that's
photo,
yeah.
But there you go. That was a really cool display. So for comic books, here we go. Saga, I am caught up to volume 4, and I just wanted to say, Corey, you got to read this. This one is so good. This whole series of Saga is so good. The story.
Oh my God, I first thought that I read Fiona Apple. What?
Fiona Staples, is it? Yeah, she's an illustrator, but the story is so good. I love it so much. And I wouldn't be surprised if one day they actually turn this comic book or graphic novel into a movie. I think it's that well written and entertaining. So I just want to say that up to volume 4, it's been really, really well done. It's hard to not like go on and spoil it, but I will say that it's really nice that the child is the one that's narrating you through kind of what's happening with her parents. I think that's a really cool perspective on it. Because the dialogue of the child is just funny because she's a baby right now.
Aww.
And so she's like, and this is where like
Cute.
shit goes wrong. Like she'll say that in her head, you know, like, and so it's just funny that she's narrating you and it's just this child. So that's a really cool perspective. But Saga is so addicting. I have a few more issues to actually be fully caught up. I just don't know if I want to wait for the next volume to come out or if I want to buy them piecemeal.
Yeah.
Because it gets a little expensive. And then I am caught up on Injustice Gods Among Us. And I have to say this season or this year so far has been, I think, better than last. I know last season 3 has been, it was okay, but it was about magic. And I feel like the pacing wasn't as great as the previous 2 years. But year 4 is actually really good. It's about Superman having to battle the Amazonians, having to battle the Greek gods. So that's a different take.
I love Greek gods.
Right? So Wonder Woman's mother actually, I think she died in this last issue. But the army has come down and is like, has confronted Superman and is saying, if you don't give up your power, like we're going to go to war.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're dealing with a broken Batman because Batman, basically everyone that was fighting with Batman has died.
Ooh.
Like he lost Green Arrow, he lost Black Canary, he has left Harley Quinn, Barbara Gordon just turned into Batgirl, so that's another person, but he has like 4 people behind him, whereas before he had like a whole army of people. So Batman is trying to recover, trying to grow his squad, you know, to try to overtake Superman. And where it left off is that there's Superman and his crew, there's the Amazonians, and then there's Batman coming up with him and the 4 chicks behind him. So that's where it's left off. I don't know who's going to battle who, if it's going to be a battle or what's going to happen, but it's good. I think it's much better than last year, so I'm excited. And we're only on issue 5 right now, so there's a lot more issues to go. Okay, so let's move on to food because there
Thanks for that.
Yeah. You're welcome. If you guys are reading it, let me know because I love talking about comic books. But let's go on to food because there is a really interesting topic that Corey sent me over this today or yesterday. But today. And it's really a good speaking point because I've never thought of this before.
Yeah.
But, you know, a grocery store has decided that and announced, you know, rightfully so, that to their customers that they're going to start to sell produce that is not the greatest looking. And that's really hard for me to say because we have this perception in our minds of what produce should look like.
Yeah.
Right? Like that was a cauliflower and it was yellow. Doesn't mean it's bad, does it?
No, it doesn't mean it's bad.
But I mean, at least for me, like when I look at cauliflower, I'm looking for the white cauliflower heads.
Don't be
and stuff
racist.
like that.
Just kidding.
What's wrong with the yellow ones? What's wrong with the yellow ones?
I know, you're like, oh yeah, I look for that white cauliflower head.
So, I mean, what do you think? I mean, I read through the article. I thought it was really interesting, but I totally would go to the store and buy the rejected produce. As long as it's still safe to eat, I think it's okay.
I totally agree. I mean, I'm sure you've been to the Asian store. I mean, I think it's a good idea because we really need to start rationing. There's no reason why we need to be wasteful with our produce and our food. And look, we're blessed to be in a country that really has a surplus of food and nourishment to go by, and we are so blessed and spoiled by it that we just depreciate the value of that, and we waste a lot of money and a lot of the time. Not to be a dick, but now we're like, oh, we have so much stuff. Let's just go vegan and it's gluten free, and you know, like oh, suddenly I have an allergy to this. I'm not hating on all that stuff. I'm just saying, like, people in Africa are not going to be like, sorry, I'm lactose intolerant. I'm sorry, I can't. You know,
or this cauliflower is yellow, I can't eat it.
Yeah, like, so I think it's a great idea ultimately to really utilize what we have, and it shows that we are part of the world and we're helping preserve.
Yeah. I mean, get behind it. If, you know, your local supermarket goes out there and says, we're going to start selling this, you know, not so great looking, but still good for you produce, so go get behind it, because I think it's a good thing for us all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure as a fellow Asian, like, we eat everything. Like something will be sitting there for like a week, and it'll be like, we'll just nuke it and it'll be fine. You know, so this is ultimately a great idea.
Yeah, that's why we're for it.
They do it all over the world, you know. So
it's about time we
don't
do
be
it here.
too picky.
I agree.
Your body is made for that. If your body can digest cow, pig, chicken, it can digest dirty vegetable.
Yeah, or vegetable that doesn't look right.
Yeah, you know?
Agree.
So,
and speaking of eating a lot of vegetables and somebody who looks like they eat a lot of vegetables, that was a really long trying to transition into this topic.
You did
Zac
a good job.
Efron.
Zac Efron.
We love Zac.
We do.
And this week, to round up our topics for the week, Zac is seen in a skin-tight onesie.
Oh my god. Sorry, I just looked at it. Okay. Oh my god.
Zac's in Hawaii, and he's filming...
That's not even hard. That's crazy. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it. I mean, what is going on?
So Zac's in Hawaii. He's like posting photos on his freaking Instagram with Adam Devine, like, or Devine, whatever you say his name. They're shooting that one film about them trying to find dates to the wedding. I forget what the actual title, but anyways, we're fully distracted by all these posts of him like topless in Hawaii, being Zac.
What does he eat? And
vegetables.
When does he eat? I mean, like, that, it must be really hard to maintain that body, and it also means that he's got a lot of self-discipline. Granted, he has the money to have someone talk in his ear not to eat, or a nutritionist probably, and a workout person. I mean, if I had those funds, that could help. But she keeps showing me the bulge, by the way, guys. She's just like, hey, look at that. Look at that. So, Anne, that just broke my oh my god, Anne. Concentration over.
All right, we better go.
We're gonna go talk about the bulge.
We're gonna just stare at this photo for another hour.
I'm gonna put it in my screensaver.
Can you imagine? Especially if you're at work.
I'm gonna put it
like back.
I'm gonna put it at this. That bulge is right where I have to like swipe.
That should be where your like recycle bin is on your desktop. You have to put stuff in.
Oh my god.
Anyways, okay. So that will wrap it up for this week. Speak Nerdy to Me. Before we go off into some really crazy tangent here, Kaori, where can people find you online?
Look, guys, you can find me online at right here, KAORIOUS. That is the username on all various places. You got YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, everything. I am there. The end.
And you guys can find me at Campea. And I didn't want to get through this whole episode without saying that, our thoughts and prayers are going out to those in Charleston. I think, we talk about, all of this, lighthearted news every week. And we are privy to what's really going on in the world. And it's just a tragedy that what's happening out there. So definitely wanted to wrap it up by saying that.
Thank you for saying that.
But definitely... follow us at Team Amasian. We have teamamasian.com, where we will definitely be adding more cosplay photos very, very soon. You can email us at teamamasian@gmail.com with any of your questions or comments on our show. And we will be back next week with another Speak Nerdy to Me. Until then, you guys, be amazing.
Keep it fresh.
There you go. Keep it fresh.